Good morning, friends. It's Nancy. I'm doing something a little different today. I am working on a journal. The last half dozen journals I haven't done on camera at all, but this one I thought I'm going to take my time selecting the pages and getting them ready. So this is a little book. I wrote this down. It means collection on various subjects. So this was a history book. I have kept 6 pages out of it. This book's gonna have 6 signatures. So I need 30 more. So I've got a box of paper next to me here. I'm gonna sort through, and if I'm going to use it, I'll use it. If I'm not going to use it, I'm going to put it away. No more boxes. I'm tripping over boxes in here. So this first one is a letter from 1912. So I just took a scrap of lace and hand stitched it on the edge. So there's the first one. This second one is a ledger from, I think, the 40s, 1946. So this piece of card here, this is the size, the maximum size of a page I can use in this book. So it is 7 3/4 by 6 3/8 ish. And I've got these button envelopes. So I'm going to glue one there and one there and put some little tags inside. So that's number 2. Like I said, I've got 30 pages to go, so let's watch. Okay, got another piece of ledger. This isn't the same as the other one. This one's a little more modern. I have tea-dyed it, and I am going to put an edge on this. I don't know what's going on with this that all of a sudden doesn't want to work. Might have to trim that a little. Indeed. Okay. And then on this side, I'm going to stitch some blue ribbon through, but I'll come back and show you. Okay, so I did it a little differently. I changed my mind about adding the ribbon. I took a scrap of a doily and just glued it on the edge, wrapped it around the bottom, and added this little pair of stamps from 1916. I'll just fold that in half. Okay, next I have this envelope. It's a little long, but first I'm going to seal this up. I'll trim off the edges, come back and show you what it looks like. So I stenciled the outside of the envelope. On the inside, I just took this handwritten recipe, glued it across the fold, made a little pocket here from a piece of calendar, and I've chosen this photo, and I actually have some genuine mounting corners. I inked these up a little bit, and I'm going to glue them to the photo. I also used my decal edge trimmer to take some of the white off the edge and ink that. I thought about taping this photo down with some old tape, but I just found these yesterday while I was sorting things out, and I thought, hey, let's use them. A little more color. And I'm going, this is Aunt Elizabeth Dunbar. I'm going to use some Fabri-Tac to glue this down, just because I sometimes think photos do better with Fabri-Tac. Okay, there's page number 4. Number 5, this is a book page from an anthology of poetry, and it was a little bit long, like a 1/4 inch long, or wide, sorry, so I have trimmed the edges. I'm going to ink the edges just a little, and then I'm going to sew a little bit of antique lace across the bottom, just to add a little bit of a decorative feature there. Here's number 6. So I took a piece of doily and wrapped it around front and back here, added this little image cut from a book. There's my lace that's stitched on there. I went with the top instead of the bottom, and just added another little motif and a fussy cut. And on the back here, I have this document from the 1880s. There's a little note on there, a receipt from 1888. I just put it on there to cover up some of the writing and give you some options. So that's number 6. Number 7. So this is a page from the back of an old book. What I want to do, this is too big, clearly. So I'm going to trim down the individual pages, join them in the center with some tape, and I might do some texture paste. So here's what I did. Well, first of all, you should know that the front and the back were never straight of the page. So as good as I did trimming the back side of these pages, the front side, not so much. But I put them together using a little bit of washi tape. And here I took apart a collar, a lace collar that I got while I was on vacation. And see how nice the margins are and everything's straight. To make some pockets. I'm going to do some hand stitches, but it's time for me to take a break, and we'll come back and do, I think this is 7. Ooh, we got 23 to go. All right, I finished this one. It wasn't number 7, it was number 6. I'm toying with the idea of cutting this off. I'll decide later. Number 6. This is number 7. This is a piece of stationery from a cruise ship, a sailing ship of some kind. Just trying to decide how I want this. Okay, I have this, just a piece of paper from piano roll. I'm going to just glue that to the edge there. It says copyrighted 1918. And since I didn't do the stenciling on the other one, I'm going to do some stenciling here on this side. Okay. This is a new jar. Oh, I have used it. Doesn't look like I cleaned it very well the last time I used it. I will endeavor to do a better job this time. Perfect. Okay, set that up there to dry and clean that. Oh. I was going to staple a little piece of fabric over top the piano roll. Will do. I think this is 8. So I've just taken a piece of tea-dyed paper, folded up the bottom, given it a little snip in the center so that those pockets will lay flat and fold easier. And I'm just going to take a little snippet of this trim and what glue shall I use? Oh, let's use this one. I just looked at the clock and I noticed that there's an online auction starting shortly, or maybe it's already started, that I had a couple of watches on. I didn't bid on anything yet. Just watching a couple of items to see where they went. So I'll have to take a pause in the action. See if I want to risk a bid. This could go up this way too. But I think I will probably go traditional. Put a little ink on the edges and move on to number 9. All right, this is instructions from a French game, The Great Men of France. I'm just going to reinforce some of the folds with some tape. This is real aged tape. I don't know if I want to. It's not really quite yellow enough for me. Like when you pile them all together, they look quite yellow, but okay. Here's one. I'm going to do some overlapping, a little bit of overlapping. Okay. If you're wondering, Nancy, where'd all this tape come from? Scrapbook. Everything was coming out of the scrapbook because the tape no longer stuck. Okay, so I'm gonna just sort of move this a little bit. Come on, you. There, a little on the crooked side of things. Okay. I'm sure that's going to be fine. I'm going to go around the top. Now I'm thinking. Because I don't want it to interfere with the fold where the signature gets sewn in. But at the same time, I'm a little concerned. You know what? If it doesn't work, I'll just take it out. Okay. I'll just trim this little bit. Okay, there's that one done. Next, I think I'd like a piece of music. Okay, I found a piece of music in a French school book to learn French. It's got a little tear here, so I'm going to give it a patch. Put a new sponge on my ink dauber. getting too many bloopy hunks of sponge dropping onto paper and making a mess. Okay. I don't want to put the double layer right in that fold. But there's going to be a little. All right, this needs to be trimmed a smidgy. Okay. So 3 7/8, I think. And it has a lesson on the back. Just wondering if there's anything else I want to add to this. I found this. There's Nancy. Okay, I do like those little torn bits, and I'm going to leave them there. I think that's... I think that's going to be sufficient. I've got some other books. This one is from 1909. Okay, I think I'm going to go with this first page. And maybe I'll add it to this. I want to use a little hinge, maybe. I don't think I want it any wider than maybe 3/8 of an inch. I know it doesn't have to be this long, but okay. Come on, you. Okay. Looks a little crooked still. Well, I guess that's the way it's going to have to be, because that glue is stuck. Nobody will spot that crookedness riding 10 miles an hour on the back of a camel. Okay, so that opens. That opens. Well, I'm going to take a little itty bit off this edge. Not too much, just an itty bit. 1909. Cute. Okay, I found one. This is a paperback. I don't know that I've ever seen a paperback with sewn-in signatures before. I think I want, oh, I was going to say I want this one with the daisies, but I could have checked that one out a little closer, couldn't I? I think I'm going to go with this one. There's a little farm here, a little rabbit, stone fence. Yeah. And I think this one is going to be darn near perfect. Well, darn near. Needs just a little smidgy again. Okay. That's page 12, I think. Next, I would like a big, well, not big, but big-ish envelope. So I pulled a few things out. Look at this teeny tiny little envelope. Isn't that adorable? 1916. I need to make a pocket out of this. So cute. It's got little pink edging around the back for flaps. you are going to be a pocket. Just seeing if there's something I've already made that I want to put a pocket on. Not yet. Okay. This has a bunch of negatives in it. And I hope it's gonna fit. I will be sad if it doesn't. Oh, it's gonna be great. But it needs some significant help. I had a price on it. Has anybody figured out what to do with these yet? Let's see what we got. Oh, I don't want to use tape. Come a little closer. Just seeing if there's a scrap down here I could make use of. Okay. Now I need something else. Do a little more. Sort of tempted. I'm gonna do it. Cut some of this off. Apparently these came from the Lucky Strike Club in Las Vegas. Someplace I've never been nor desired to go. Put a little more glue under here. And then I have these 2 envelopes. I just heard Netflix turn on. Probably means something loud. So I think that's going to be a video. Hopefully I can do the other, I don't know where I am, 15, 16, something like that. I'll get those done in the next crafting session. Thanks so much for joining me today. Take care. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye. Here's the next idea. I got this old, I'm going to say it's 1920s envelope. I cut this part down so it's the right size, but I saved this and just trimmed a little off the edges. So this opens up, and I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to glue, I'm going to glue this pocket down right there. I didn't put a pin in here last night. That won't fit in there. I wanted to show you, I reinforced this just by adding strips of tissue paper that I glued down with my glue stick. I also put a strip here, so you can't really see that clearly, and that's exactly what I was going for. So I used like a pale ivory colored tissue paper. I'm going to use that technique more because sometimes I don't want, you know, a glaring evidence that I have reinforced something. Okay, there's the next page. All right, this one is a 1922 letter. Again, I've used some tissue paper to sort of reinforce where the folds were. Isn't this interesting? It says, you may use the back of this letter for your reply. So my intentions here, I want to put some lace across the top. Maybe I'll just use let me grab something else. Oh. That's better. Okay. I did have to trim a little bit off the edge of the letter. This is one of my favorite antique laces. I've used almost all of it. Oop. Okay. Just trim this ruff. And set it aside to stitch. Alright, next one. This is a page from an embroidery book. Oh, that's not what I want. That's what I want. Well, lo and behold, it's perfect. Just going to take a whisker off this side. Now I've got some gray seam binding here. And I thought I'd do sort of a ruffle with the seam binding. I will stitch over this as well. Doug just turned off the shower. That means singing might erupt at any time. Yep, there it goes. Okay, I got a dictionary page here. It is precisely the correct height, but not the correct width. So okay, I'm gonna cut it and glue it back together. Okay. Where's the part I just cut off? See, I've got this piece of tissue. Blech. And I'll use a little bit of, so this is the strip that was the original fold. I might add some stitching there. The other thing I wanted to do, whoop, ooh, good catch, Nancy. I'm going to put this envelope on here, that teeny tiny one. And I've already put a hinge on it so that it can be hinged out. Or should I do it this way? I think I'll do it that way. Actually, I'll do it that way. Okay, put you aside for stitching. This is from a travel diary. It's a little long. Oh, whisker, just a whisker. And I'll get my corner chomper. No one will know the difference. There, now they match. I'm going to add some ink to this, just to give it a little bit of dirt. And a little more dirt on this side. There we go. Okay, I think I'd like to add a little fussy cut there. Changed my mind about the fussy cut. I found this image of a train coming out of a tunnel. This is from an old book. No, I don't like it. Try that again. I got these hexagons here. Oh, I should add some Fabri-Tac. I chose this because it reminds me of coveralls, like what a railroad engineer might wear. Where's my stapler? Okay, I'm going to add some stitches to that to make sure it remains. I wonder if there's a date on any of these. If they're a newspaper or... Oh, there's different kinds of paper. Oh, Toronto, Saturday, June. Yeah, no dates. What's this say? Oh, it's a little map of some kind. Aren't these fun? These are old. I've had them for a long time, actually. So I'm glad I'm using one. Okay, there's another one. Put that over there to sew. Okay, this one needs some cutting, clearly. This is from an old address book. If you are new to my channel, you're probably wondering, why am I using a rotary cutter? Well, because if I use a knife on old paper, it might just tear it. So, rotary cutter makes a nice cut. I think I'll round the corners on this one too, except I'll use a 1/4 inch instead of the 1/2 inch. How will I decorate this? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm going to sew those other ones, and hopefully by the time I've sewn the other ones, I'll come up with a genius idea for this one. Okay, I did come up with something. So I got some bits of paper. I liked this one. It's tea-dyed, but it says merci. And a couple of other scraps here. This one, livret devant. And a couple more pieces here. And I just did 2 lines of stitching. So I think that's number 19. I brought down some books. I did, honestly. I brought down some books. Where the heck did I put them? Alright, so I've got this little book of butterflies. this one out. I think I'm going to use this one. So first of all, I'm going to take a little piece of tissue. To reinforce that. No sense getting the whole thing all gluey. And then on the opposite side, can't say I'm terribly impressed by the caterpillars. So I'm going to get a little gesso going. Hopefully. Whoops. Sort of attempting to give this sort of a dry brush look. I don't know how well I'm doing. Okay. I'll leave that to dry. This is a French book. I kept only the images, the ones that had, well, maybe I'll do one of these side ones. Let's see what I have. Here they are, fishing. There's a farm scene with chickens. Oh, she's got a wagon being pulled by cats or rats or something. That's nice. I like some of these page edges. They're nice. Have no idea. Oh, here they're gathering flowers. That might be a nice one. Okay. I'm going to do that one. Now, this is pretty crispy. So, I've got a piece of, what do you call this paper? Tracing paper that's been tea dyed. Doesn't want to tear. Okay. I'm going to pause while I clean this. I'm mindful that this is, yeah, not great. Wasn't so sure this was going to work. So I used some watered down Mod Podge to attach this page to the coffee dyed tracing paper. Folded it in half so that I knew it would fold. And on this end, I put, this isn't quite dry yet, but I put some flowers that I dried and pressed last year. You can see the glue's still wet there. Clearly it needs a little bit of a trim. Actually, it does not. I thought it was going to be a little long, but it's perfect. Just needed to trim some stems. Okay. I will set that to dry. I already rinsed out my brush. For this journal, I want to include some genuine linens, so I have pressed this linen doily. It's ready to go in. I might put it in like that so that things could be tucked in there. This is a handkerchief. It has a little bit of embroidery there. Again, I might put it in. I might need to do some stitches here so that something can be stuck up in there. And this, I want to add it. Where is my template? I've lost my template. Found it. Okay, I am going to take a page out of this book. The book is another one of those epic poems by Longfellow. Now I gotta look. Yes. Wow. I just read it like 85 seconds ago and I forgot already. Okay. So, Evangeline is an Acadian. Let's measure this. And Acadians were among the first settlers of North Americans. They came from Normandy, I believe. And I've lost my ruler. Oh, there it is. I've been moving so much stuff around. Yeah, that's going to be perfect. Okay. So I want that like that, and then that like that. I am just going to put a little bit of glue on the back, some Fabri-Tac. Clearly what I meant to say was they were also French speakers. And then at some point, can't remember my history, but many of them were relocated to Louisiana, which is why the French speakers there are referred to as Acadian. Okay, so I am going to do some stitches here. And then I'm going to take one out of this book. It's a sliver too big. This is an old notebook. What else did I bring with me? Also got this book of poetry. Just hair off the edge, and I'm going to take some off the top. Let's give it some round corners. Where's that French book I had with the pictures? Nope, don't like it. I thought I would. Now, I've got this cut from a handkerchief. Oh my gosh. Let me ink this up. All right, here's what I did. This is a page from a poetry book. I took this photo and put a little bit of glue across the top and then these little pieces of tape. It's a tuck spot. And I did use this piece that I didn't want to use before. I just tore off the white. I think that was what was bugging me. Okay, this, using the linens, I took a piece of that handkerchief, used some hand stitches to attach it to this piece of book page. Here is the handkerchief. So I just did some hand stitches to hold down the over. This doesn't feel like I starched it. I'll have to starch it. This one, I cut the bulk out of this fold and did some hand stitches, just messy old hand stitches. This one, I sewed this back page to the doily, and this is where the fold will be. So it'll be possible to open this up once it's stitched into the signature. Okay, I need 3 more. This is the cover from some sheet music, and I had this card in my stash of stuff, and it says, with the compliments of the city of Paris. So I inked it up. It was white. I inked it up, made some folds and tears, added some gussets. Okay. This one, this is a letter. Dear sir, my wife has been laid up for 8 weeks in bed with inflammatory rheumatism, and the doctor has recommended mineral baths. I have heard of the Preston Springs, but don't know anything about them. Would kindly let me know what you think of the mineral water at Preston for such a trouble. Also, where is the best place to stay? Thank you in advance. So this was from a lawyer in London, an hour up the road or so, and he was writing to a lawyer in Preston, which is now part of Cambridge. So I have this little fold here, but I want to add a little ticket or something. Let me see what I have. Aha, I have these French words. Oh, I also have German, but I'm going to use French. We need ink. Yeah, glue. Okay, I'm going to add a little fussy cut of a flower to that. And last page, this is a piece of craft paper, and I've got my stencil from my watercolor swatches. I just traced them on there and added an extra one, and I'm going to do some swatching there. So that is 30 pages. And I hope I can put this journal together today. So come back tomorrow for a flip through. Take care. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.